Hey, everybody. Welcome to Open the Gates. I'm your host, Matt Burke. And tonight we're going to be having on Doc Blalock. He's going to be talking about his new book, A Damn Dirty Thing. So if you guys could give a warm welcome to Doc, that would be fucking awesome. All right, guys?
What's up? What's up?
How you doing, man?
All right, brother. Good to see you.
You too, man.
We were talking backstage, boys and girls. At a last minute panic fire, my audio went sideways, so I had to find my old headphones and plug them in and hope to God they worked. So here we are.
Sounding good, huh?
Yeah.
How's the weather out where you at? Where are you staying at?
I'm in the good old deep south, and it is it's very nice here. It's gonna be almost 70 degrees tomorrow. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, over here I'm in California. It's kind of wet, but it's gonna be storming, I guess, all weekend.
Ew. Well, are you North Cal, South Cal?
No, I'm in South. I'm in Long Beach, basically.
Okay.
All
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lived in San Diego in the 80s for about a year and a half.
Well, that's pretty nice out there.
Yeah.
I wish I could live out there. I wouldn't mind.
I'm losing my voice also, so bear with.
Oh, for sure, man.
But I shall endeavor to persevere. Hail Rex. I thought
Rex is going to be on here. He's going to be on next week. Let's see. He's definitely coming on next week. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man. Rex he's got a book coming on coming out in a couple of days too. So I'm looking forward to that.
Hey, Carol's in the chat throwing tables.
Yeah, man. So everything's been pretty good out where you're at, huh? Not too bad, huh? What's up, Pops?
The weather's been a bit I guess we can literally use the word bipolar. What was it? 9 days ago it didn't get above freezing for 3 days in a row. And then, the next 3 days it's almost springtime weather outside. So
yeah.
It's a little crazy like that.
Oh, for sure, man. So you've been from my understanding, this is the first time I've ever really talked to you too much, but you've been doing from my understanding, what I've heard, you've been working in the art industry for a long time, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now I'll set aside the elephant in the room. I'm a retired counselor.
Okay.
But whether I was in the Navy, I was doing art. When I was in medicine, I was doing art. When I was a counselor, I was doing art. When I retired, I'm still doing art. So in the early 90s, I was doing comics. Shh, for the small press.
What's up, Rex?
Hey, Rex. and then my fine art started taking off. So I do a lot of I'm an impressionist landscape painter. And so, the comics, yeah. I just put that aside and focused on the fine art and my counseling career. Well,
he's a darn good one too.
Well, thank you, Rex. When the coup hit, the art market died. You couldn't give a painting away, and it still hasn't bounced back. So, Matt, I remember one night I had, like many people, I had stumbled across old Ethan. Now, I remembered Ethan. He started in comics about the same time I did, but I didn't stay with it. He did. But I found his channel. I was like, okay, I was watching one night. And then I super chatted him, and I just said, hey, I wish there was a Comicsgate for fine artists because blah, 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 blah. And I posted the link. Well, he pulled up my website and showed my fine art. Billy Tucci and Artie Bear looked at it. They ooh-ah'd over my fine art.
Ooh, nice.
And Ethan said, well, I don't know what to tell you, brother. Come make comics with us. And I went, I know how to do comics. And so I'm back.
Oh, hell yeah, man. And you've had you have another book, Pariah, that's coming out pretty soon, right? It's going to be fulfilling pretty soon, right?
It's already fulfilled.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Yeah, Pariah is a 3-part trilogy. First one is Pariah Blood and Mud. The next one is Pariah Sanctum of Hate. And the last one is tentatively titled Pariah Garden of Malice. And
okay.
It's a revenge story. Basically, it's I spit on your grave, but you messed up and you did that to a witch.
Oh, that's awesome.
Who has a 14-foot tall golem that goes around with her.
That's badass.
Yeah. Now, the damn dirty thing that's coming out is Pariah will be Elizabeth's story arc, one and done. This is featuring Jake Bishop, who is a supernatural private eye
Nice.
And it will be an ongoing series for as long as I can possibly write it. And I decided to go ahead and give him a little short floppy comic because he enters the pariah story in the second book and features prominently. I thought, yeah, let's give him a little backstory here. So
beat that dead horse.
What was that, Lord?
You said write it for as long as you can. I said beat that dead horse.
Yeah. Oh God, Rex. Yeah. So we introduce Jake Bishop and his world, and so when they meet in book 2, you know, if you've gotten Pariah Blood and Mud and you get A Damn Dirty Thing, you're all good to go for the second Pariah book. But even if, boys and girls, even if you get neither of them, you'll still be able to jump in the story.
So if I wanted to get Blood and Mud, can I pick it up now, or can I pick it up when this one launches, or how does that work?
Over on the website for darkgiftcomics.com, you can get covers B and C. Cover A, we're holding back for the Second Chance campaign. When we launch Damn Dirty Thing, there'll be a second chance for cover A Pariah.
Oh, sweet, man! Because I want to get that book. I remember when it launched, but at the time when it came out, I couldn't back it. But now I could definitely get it.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, so I definitely want to read that. I remember just seeing the character, like, damn, that's dope. I'm really into the bog monsters. Yeah, right.
Yeah, me too, man. You can't go wrong with a big old swamp monster. Come on.
Love bog monsters. I'm actually watching the Swamp Thing TV show right now on Tubi. It's fucking awesome.
That's kind of one thing while we got together on him working for me doing my doing Bog's story a couple years ago because we were all into swamp monsters.
Oh hell yeah, man!
Now, Matt, are you team Man Thing or are you team Swamp Thing?
Swamp Thing, 100%.
Okay, I'd say a Man Thing. So I just.
Oh yeah.
But I forgive you, Oman.
Yeah.
I think Shadowhawk's Man Thing actually with you, Doc. I don't know he said if it weren't for Barney Wrightson though, I'd be Swamp Thing. Am I coming in too low or?
No, I just didn't hear what you said.
I mean, Swamp Thing for Shadowhawk beats out just a little bit Man Thing. He kind of likes the Man Thing, but he likes Bernie Wrightson. So,
yeah, me too, man. I'm a Wrightson stan. I actually came up with for my comic Butch Cleaver. I came up with a bog type monster, and I thought it was kind of like an interesting take. I still haven't seen anybody do it. I didn't make a backstory. You know how sometimes I know fucking Rex knows what I'm talking about. You just make conceptual like designs, right, of a character, and then boom, you might get the story afterwards. So like I did that, and like maybe I'll kick that fucker around, you know, in a Butch Cleaver story later in the swamp, you know.
Well, you know, the way I do it is I always consider myself an artist and not a writer, and then of course in 2017 I started to write. So, you know, I like to create the characters. You have to have a good character. I mean, sometimes the story comes first, but you know,
either or, you know,
story you tell me.
Like for me, like what draws for me is I don't know. I'm a fucking weirdo, but like I'm really drawn to like designs of characters. You know what I mean? So like if the character like is there, like I mean I can watch it in a movie, but in a comic book they gotta look fucking dope, dude. Like or else I'm just kind of bored, or they gotta have something metal like bad, like Ash from Evil Dead. I know it's not a comic, but he's got the chainsaw arm and the metal arm and the
derivative,
real basic color shit. You know? Other than that, it's just like, dude, you gotta come up, you gotta have a cool character, you know.
Yes,
but yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
I'm visually drawn to things, you know.
My creative process is a little bit different. My daydreams get me in trouble.
Oh yeah.
Scenes just start forming in my mind, and I hear dialogue, and it's really
that happens to me too.
Yeah, I got to write this down. So I
use your phone.
Down. Yeah, just a back and forth dialogue.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Well, who said this, and why did they say it? And it's kind of like what Tolkien did with "In a Hole in the Ground There Lived a Hobbit," and then he said, and then I thought I better figure out what hobbits are. It's kind of the same way my process works,
right?
And I'm just blessed that you know that as an artist I can go sit down and then start designing and drawing out stuff and get it there.
Now sometimes it can happen with an image in your mind, right?
Yeah, definitely. And Doc, you were saying that you're writing your book too.
Yeah.
So you're writing all your books and you're penciling and inking.
Yeah, because I can afford me, Matt.
Yeah, right.
I can afford me.
Yeah, man. No, that's awesome, though, man. Like, there's just something about that's just like a real raw quality and just like really like close to the heart of a project when you're, picking up a book. Like, there's not a lot of like creators that do like most of the work. It's usually a team. And I don't. I mean, it's just cool. It's just kind of cool sometimes when you can pick up a book that someone wrote and illustrated. It's cool. It doesn't happen all the time. I love them both, the team books and then the creator specified ones as well.
I mean, there are artists out there that as a writer I'd like to work with, and then there are writers out there as an artist I want to work with. Looking at you, Jason Bascom, you're doing my Popeye book, whether you know it or not.
Well, yeah, Jason's a visionary, man. He's one of those visionary guys. I put in that category. There's a few of them in Comicsgate and the fucking Iron Age. He's definitely one of them.
Yeah, there's a. By the way, on the Damn Dirty Thing campaign, I'm also doing a novella of the same story. Really? So there's a floppy, then there's a between 80-90 page novella.
Really?
Dirty Thing. So yeah, and I'm having a ball with that. I haven't written straight prose in a long time.
Is that going to be digital, like when that comes out, or how does that? It's going to be an actual book that we can.
It'll be an actual book that you can hold in your hot little hands, and I'm going to record an audio book if I ever get my voice back.
Oh, I can't wait, man! And it's going to be very because I love a cold detective. I've talked about that a bunch of times, like fucking Hellblazer, Hellboy, Criminal Macabre. You know what I mean? Like there's so many. It's its own genre now. I fucking love cult detective, right? And that's what you're fucking doing. And then it's noir, how the fuck you want to say it? It's what it looks like, Yes. And man, I'm excited. I can't wait to pick that up. What are like, some of your processes when you're writing? Is there like a habitual ritual that you go through when you start writing, or you just kind of, just like you were saying earlier, things pop in your head, or what's your process, man? Am I sharing that with you?
Everything in my brain is dialogue driven.
Okay.
So, and I think that falls back to my love of movies. I think about Casablanca, a lot of people don't realize how many great one-liners that Rick had in Casablanca. Suppose you run your business and let me run mine. He's just all those snappy one-liners he had. And so I'll kind of hear those conversations going on and I'll build scenes around them. But what I thought would be cool, I've written in first person before, but the old Detective Noir books weren't just first person, they were first person present tense. And I thought that's a challenge. So I'm writing it first person present tense. And so far, I haven't had a stroke from doing it. So we're kind of okay with it so far.
That's cool, man. When you're writing, do you ever like listen to music? Like, do you listen to movie scores or anything like that? Or do you like complete silence? How do you go about doing that?
It's weird. As a painter, when I'm painting, I want the sounds of nature around me and nothing but. I don't want to hear any music. But
that makes sense.
With Pariah, it was old school Ozzy, Dio, Sabbath.
Some heavy metal.
Particularly, at Queensryche, The Lady Wore Black. Heaven and Hell by Dio.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
I had to have that going. And now with the Damn Dirty Thing, I've got old 1930s and 40s jazz playing.
Exactly. Yeah. No, totally. Because it puts you in that world, right? It kind of puts you in that world a bit, right?
Yeah.
And that's a good way to immerse yourself in that world. I mean, now that we're talking about music a little bit, I got to ask, what's your favorite metal band? I mean, you named a couple, but what's your favorite? If you can't name one.
All-time heavyweight champion of the world. I'll narrow it down to a band and an album. Operation Mindcrime, Queensryche.
Okay. Yeah, those guys, man, they kind of came out fucking swinging with, with the technicality, with their melodies, and people hadn't seen that on the heavy metal scene. They're an awesome band. I remember Silent Lucidity when it hit the charts. That was a big song. Even as a little kid, man, when I listened to that, I just like, damn, my uncle would pump that, Queensryche's awesome, and I love rock metal, man.
And I love the whole idea of that concept album. Mindcrime literally would make a great movie, and I don't think Jeff Tate knows it yet, but it would make a great graphic novel that I'm probably going to end up drawing, and then I'll ask for permission later.
Oh,
So,
that's awesome.
I'll ask for forgiveness after I do it.
Right.
Just go ahead and commit.
Oh.
I'll commit the mind crime first, and then I'll submit it and go, hey, let's make some money here.
Oh, hell yeah. That's the thing I like about metal too, man. Like a lot of the metal albums could be like a graphic novel or a movie, you know, because they're so like driven and detailed and like extreme melody driven. You know what I mean? It's not like, you know, I'm going to smack my bitch and get my, you know, drugs and fucking pick up my ride and all that shit. Like that's easy to attain. And it's not hard to create like an entire like world and packed with melodies. And, you know, that's just from that's just at the threshold of the gateway into metal. It gets even more technical.
Yeah.
So
look, you can have the old fashioned head banging, fist pumping, good time metal. But, you know, I
totally.
kind of like the immersive quality of Dio's impressionistic lyrics and then, you know, that gritty but poetic reality that Queensryche was creating. Fate's Warning also great stuff.
He's a powerhouse, man. Dio, he's one of the best singers. I just started like really kind of getting into him. I actually like for Black Sabbath, I kind of prefer. I mean, you have the hits, you got the classics with Ozzy and whatnot, but long term, man, like for song, I don't know. I kind of prefer Dio with Black Sabbath even.
Yeah. I love me some Ozzy. Don't get me wrong, especially, you know, Diary of a Madman, Blizzard of Oz, Bark at the Moon. You know, I love that stuff.
Ozzy by himself is dope too. Yeah, 100%, man. For art, man, who are some of your influences for? So who are some of your influences? Maybe some comics. I mean, I'm sure you got a plethora of different ones because you're coming from fine art. But
in fine art, it's Claude Monet, Pissarro, Renoir, little touch of Sicily. In comics, I remember, and by the way, the comics came first. I remember sitting and drawing a George Perez page over and over and over again, weeping with my little young self because I couldn't make it look like he made it look. You know, erasing until there was a hole in the paper. Why can't I do this? Until I finally could. George Perez, John Byrne, love Bernie Wrightson. Obviously. I mean, the good dude's a madman.
Yeah, he is.
Then in the 90s, there was a young guy that came along. Now, of course, he's my age. I say young. Steve Epting was a badass and has never achieved the notoriety of his peers, but he's just as good as any of them ever were.
I think his birthday was yesterday. He is good.
Yeah, he's really good. Solid. But yeah, it was those old school guys, man. Perez was the GOAT to me.
He's awesome. I loved his faces, you know. This the whole body structure. Bernie, he's just, you know, like in my top 5, probably the best comic artist ever. Definitely the father of horror. Like Frazetta's the father of fantasy. He's the father of horror, in my humble opinion. And I got
now, of course, I love Frazetta, but Wrightson, there's just you look at a Wrightson piece and you go, how in the hell did a man do that with pen and ink?
Yeah, no, you know, like Frankenstein. Dude, I bought the big book. I got it from France for like $60, the big size edition. Because if you were to buy the big one now, it's $300.
Sure, yeah.
Like, I got the novel Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, so I don't need to. It can be in French, so I can sit there and study the work. You know, I want to come home and crack a brewski or fucking have some bourbon and just study his line work.
If I were to get my hands on a hardback book, I would desecrate it. I'd be cutting it apart, framing that shit, hanging it on my walls.
Yeah.
You know, there's a Monet landscape. There's a Wrightson horrorscape. You know.
Were you ever into what's his name? Drouet? I think he did Paradise Lost. I always forget. It's a 4-letter.
No. Nothing negative about it. Just never went down that path. Never really got into it.
He's an awesome artist, man. You should definitely look into him. His pencil, his ink. Oh my God. Next level shit. Yeah, man. You got a favorite movie?
Oh, you shouldn't have done that. Yes, my all-time favorite movie is Casablanca. Period.
Oh, okay.
Hands down. I watch it twice a year, every year. Oddly enough, I love Otto Preminger's In Harm's Way with John Wayne, World War II flick. Really well made. It's one of those where the naval consultant, Admiral, I think Burke was his name, said of John Wayne to the director, I don't have to show him anything. He acts like a commanding officer. Exactly how
Get
a
over
commanding
here.
officer should, you know.
I'm a commanding officer.
Yes, fish or cut bait, kid, or I'll cut you loose. But yeah, lots of good movies. I like the noir stuff. I like Maltese Falcon, The Big Sleep. What was that? Something.
Sorry, I just
Bone.
No, it wasn't that. My screen flickered. I'm like, oh, please God, no.
Oh no, you're good.
I'm having technical issues. But yeah, I like the noir movies.
I you said James Richard Burke. That's my grandpa. Ever read James Lee Burke? Oh. That's you, Doc.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
But then in the 80s, there was, come on, Indiana Jones. You don't not like Indiana Jones. Cap's here, so I'm gonna throw it in there. I gotta love me some Back to the Future. Whether the time travel works or not, I still like the movies. They're cute. There's just so many. What do you call him? Those John Hughes teen flicks.
Oh yeah, a bunch.
The dialogue again.
Handle.
Yeah. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. The dialogue is the big thing for me, and those things are real heavy in the dialogue. Very snappy, very very on point. Oh, yeah, that's good stuff.
It's hard to find good dialogue and write it. For me, I really liked the Coen brothers a lot. I really like Mike Judge, from King of the Hill, and
yeah.
He just really, I think he captures blue collar America to a T. Mike Judge. So I really liked him, and I liked some of Tarantino stuff too. I thought it was pretty fun.
Yeah, I read a quote from Mike Judge that said, "King of the Hill was his apology for Beavis and Butthead."
Oh yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, I love me some Beavis and Butthead too. I remember as a kid though, it's like I kind of hated like watching them review stuff all the time. I'm like, dude, go out and kick some ass or get your ass beat or go do something. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I mean, man, we're speaking out of a lot of stuff. I was also wondering too, like what's your like process for taking your script or what you have, your written word, and going into your artistic approach to creating let's say a damn dirty thing. How do you go about doing that?
I'm really old school, so I have frequently said this: the artist hates the writer, and the writer hates the artist, because I will work from a strict script that I write for myself, highly detailed, panel 1, panel 2, panel 3, and then I hand that to my artist self and go, "What the fuck is this guy thinking?" I'm going to do it this way, but I work from I start with a fluid outline. Here's what I want to accomplish in this book. Here are the beats that have to be hit, and then I start fleshing them out, and then I write the script, and then when I'm doing the prose, it's the same thing, but instead of per page beats, it's per chapter beats.
Okay.
And get your arcs in. And originally, Pariah was going to be just one big long ass book, so it had an arc thus, right?
Yeah.
But we had to break it into 3 because the economy sucks. Nobody can afford a 130 page book from a nobody coming out of nowhere. So I had to break into 3 arcs.
That's cool though, man.
So that took a lot of rewriting, but I got it there.
Let's see here. Mike Judge's Idiocracy movie is coming true. Yeah, I mean we're living in it right now.
We're living
a little dab of John Carpenter as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, that's cool. In the storytelling, you got to have your ups and downs, and your, hit them and then take it away, and then build your suspense and all that good stuff.
Wait, slow up. I'm taking notes.
Yeah, man, that's cool. And speaking of a damn dirty thing, I actually have the campaign, or at least the sign-up page up here. I guess I'm going to share it if that's cool with you.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Sweet. Here we go. So I have the link in the chat at the top. It's pinned to the chat at the top of the chat, and also or the top of the screen. And you guys can also check it out on the description. So you can sign up here. And we have dude, you got a trailer right here. You go ahead and play it.
That's the old trailer.
Okay.
Let me link you the new one.
Oh, okay, cool.
I thought Anthony had updated that, but he did not. So,
were you a fan of Sin City at all, Doc?
Loved the first one. Kind of ambivalent about the second one.
Me too, man. I think that was one of those things. It was that and like a Dumb and Dumber Part 2, where it just they kind of missed that whole wave. And I just, and most importantly, like I liked Sin City 2, but I fucking loved the first one. And it was just, to me, it was the best adapted comic movie of all time.
Oh man, it was amazing.
It's amazing. I loved it. I still think it's the best. And I just think the stories are better and they're more epic. You're dealing with more epic stories and content compared to the second movie.
It's so visceral and raw.
Yeah.
All right. The link to the current trailer is in the private chat, Matt.
Oh, okay. Let me pull that up real quick.
Yeah, we're living in Idiocracy and 1984 and Fahrenheit 451 and Brave New World. We're living it.
Oh, totally, man. 100%. Let me share this right now. Can't wait to check out this trailer. I love trailers, man. A lot of people do trailers, and a lot of people are like not doing as many trailers anymore. But
I love them. Do them.
I love them. I love trailers. You know, I'm gonna keep doing them until I can no longer do them.
No sound.
Oh, that's my fault. Hold on one sec. Fix that real quick.
I was just sitting here. It wasn't my fault. I'm just thinking.
So yeah, man, I'm actually looking forward to that. I really like the way you guys put that trailer together. The music was really cool. Like, who did the music for you?
It's public domain. It's called I think Bass Walk is the name of it. It's an old 1940s bass beat.
Oh, okay.
And then I built the trailer and all the layers of the sound effects and whatever to try to get that atmosphere, you know.
Oh yeah, that sounds great, man. For those who don't know, do you think you could? I mean, we talked about it a little bit, but can you give like a little bit more of a synopsis of this story, like just so people can kind of know a little bit more? Not spoiling too much.
Our story features Jake Bishop, a private investigator, who calls himself a ditch wizard. He's a little bit magical. Now, when I say a supernatural PI, I don't mean like Jim Butcher's creation.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he lives in a very real world, and he himself is a little bit on the supernatural side. So Jake Bishop, he and his partner were on tracking down a bail jumper. They didn't realize the bail jumper was connected to the mob, and the mob did not like it. So they planted a bomb in the office and blew them all to smithereens. But they didn't kill Jake. They should have made sure. So Jake is on his quest for justice. He's going to go get this guy. And he's aided by the mysterious new assistant named Portia Vance, who's entirely too hot and too smart for her own good.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's I can't wait to check that out. Like this I like this the poster you guys made right here, you know. It reminds me of the old movie, you know.
Yeah, and that will be the cover to the comic book and to the novella.
Nice.
It is a homage to an old movie poster. I think it's called Born in Blood. You know, just the composition, not the art. It's of course different, but just I liked the layout on it. I'm like, fuck it, move the title down there. You know, let's put a blurb in the upper left, make it look like a movie poster. So we've got starring Jake Bishop and Portia Vance, and like it's a movie.
Yeah, that's cool, man. It actually looks like a movie poster.
Yeah. There's
I like that. And so I can come here and you were saying I could pick up some books here as well, huh?
Yeah, on the website. Yeah, on the website you would just go to the store. There's some of the images.
darkgift.com.
Yeah, there's some of the image. Now, the business card. That's a working phone number, boys and girls. That card is actually in the book. It's Bishop's own card. He wrote down 6 p.m. Bailey's. That's where he goes to meet Portia Vance for the first time to interview her for the job. And that's a working phone number you can call, and you will get Bishop Investigations. Leave a message. Do you remember the old Rockford Files? You remember the old Rockford Files?
James Garner, I think.
Yeah. When it would come on, it would. This is Jim Garner. I can't. No, this is Jim Rockford. I can't answer the phone. Leave a message, and then there would be all those crazy messages. So what we're going to do is, as this thing starts building up messages, we're going to pick some of the good ones, and we'll build a a video with all the best ones on there, and the winner of the best one will get a secret prize.
Well, that's awesome, man. I like that. It reminds me of there was this clown, I think, down in Florida that is, I don't know, it kind of he did a bunch of videos that went viral, and I think his name was like Stitches the Clown or something. I forgot the name of him. Pickles or something like that. And yeah, you could call him up and talk to him, and people were calling him and having him come over to like scare their kids and shit like that, you know.
Nice,
and he became like an internet sensation. He was down in Florida, but yeah, man, that's cool that you guys did that. So
so there's a couple of more Easter eggs on
interaction, you know.
Yeah, there's more Easter eggs on there. One is the coffee stains are my coffee stains because I drink a lot of coffee.
Nice.
The second one is if you look at the address, it's 442A Cook Street instead of 221B Baker Street, Sherlock Holmes's address. And then Solomon City is the fictitious city where they live. And instead of a zip code, they have 3W05A. That's 3 Whiskey 05 Alpha. That was my billet number at when I was in training in the U.S. Navy. So it's like, I'll just use that.
Oh, nice. That's cool, man. There's a bunch of little Easter eggs on there, huh?
Yeah. And so the story, I should point out, takes place in a fictitious world that has all of our technology, but the aesthetics of the 1940s never went away. So instead of the internet, they have the electrosphere. Instead of computers, Instead of computers, they have data types.
Oh wow!
And their cars, you know, they look old, but they've got all the technology our cars have and whatever. So, you know, they can make cell phone calls, but they're not going to call it a cell phone.
So, and that's in this universe of Damn Dirty Thing.
Yeah, which is the same universe Pariah lives in.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect that. You know, that's something cool you're bringing to the table. You know what I mean? As far as that goes, you know, I like this panel, this collage of the work that's in here.
Yeah, that's just a few shots. Some of them won't be in the book because of edits. Some of them will be, obviously. Excuse me. Anthony, as my publisher, he'll get all the pages, scan them, and he'll start composing the pages for me. Anthony Romano, Dark Gift. But he doesn't have the physicals yet. I've still got them all here, so I got to get them up there. So he's like, well, man, send me some images. So I just took pictures with my brick phone and here.
Put together. No, it looks cool, man. I seen that on your Twitter because I was looking for the link and I was like, ooh, I like this. You know what I mean? Like all the pieces put together, you know?
Mm-hmm. I've enjoyed doing this about as much as I've ever enjoyed doing anything. I mean, the world Jake Bishop lives in is a world I wish I could go live in.
That's crazy. And you take, you know, like you take some inspiration from life too, man. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And putting that into the story, like, it's just I can't imagine what it's like, you know, making that prose novel, man. A lot of people don't.
Would you like an excerpt from that?
Yeah, definitely.
I know you're saying that it's set in present day, Doc, but what aesthetic are you going for? Late 40s, 50s, early 50s? What?
Post World War II 40s, circa about 1946, 47.
Okay.
Mm.
That's immediately after that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So are you kind of playing fast and loose with the cars and designs and whatnot?
Well, I mean, all the cars in the book are circa 1946-ish. The architecture, same thing. The
or
clothing
earlier,
styles,
right? Because I mean,
right? Sure, yeah. The clothing style, same thing.
actually, you probably had to go 5 to 10 years early on that stuff, right? Even today, I mean, more people can afford modern day cars now, new vehicles, but back then they lasted.
Yeah, I
right?
mean, Jake drives the most ubiquitous car from that time period of the American. It's the 46 Ford Coupe. His secretary drives a Jaguar convertible. How did she get that car?
Yeah.
So, excuse me. Here's a little excerpt from the novella.
Nice.
The scene is that he's at the diner waiting to interview Portia Vance. The worn, familiar booth, warm light, and good coffee soothe me as I watch rivulets of rain run down the window, obscuring the skyline. Memories flicker, Frank's laughter, the hum of the city outside our office window, and then the blinding light of the explosion. It's all there, etched in the lines of my face and the ache in my bones. I flinch involuntarily at the memory. Recovery, they call it, but some wounds never really heal. The window reflects a man I barely recognize, a man who's tasted the darkness and come back changed. The diner hums with a low murmur of conversation, a soundtrack to the city's stories. Then we'll skip ahead here. The bell on the door jingles, a dissonant note in the hum of the diner. In she walks, Portia Vance, a name as sultry as the lady herself, a real stunner, the kind of dame men would fight for. Jake Bishop, her voice as sultry as the sunset in summer. What's left of it, my smile. She slides into the booth, a smirk playing on lips that hint at secrets. Portia Vance, I'm here for the interview. I eye her, the smoke of my cigarette curling lazily between us. She's tall and graceful. Her clear blue eyes sparkle with quick wit and intelligence. The job's not hard, Miss Vance. Typing, filing, running errands, that sort of thing. You know how to use a data type? She gives me a look that says she can do more than type. Comes with the territory, doesn't it? I grunt, not sure if I was annoyed or amused. All right, sweetheart, the job ain't glamorous, the pay's nothing to sing about, the hours stink, but the job's yours if you want it. She smiles. Thanks. I fish a key from my pocket and place it on the table as I rise. Start tomorrow, 442B Cook Street. She smiles. I'll be there at 7 sharp. I'll be there at 10. Sharp's overrated.
That's awesome, man. You ever think about doing maybe an audiobook too?
Yeah, we're gonna do one.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like I like audiobooks, man. Like I'm even into like the older radio, like the Shadow and stuff like that.
Fanta in the chat, she's legally blind, and she had said something about that at one point, and I said, I'll do an audiobook just for you if we, as a stretch goal. And she's like, yes.
Well, I love audiobooks too. I mean, I just eat them up. I mean, that's where I get a lot of my reading ins, actually, sad to say, but audiobooks, I think the comic scene should do a lot more of them, actually.
Definitely. Like, you could take your book and kind of flesh it out a little more, get into the head of the characters a little more, because there's only so much you can put in a comic book. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can't read someone's mind like you could in a story with high def detail. You know what they're smelling and seeing and hearing.
Well, that old radio they call it the theater of the mind, right? Your imagination is the most powerful thing when reading something. You fill in the gaps from your life experiences, and it makes it even more powerful for each individual reader, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, how many times have we all had a favorite author's book turn into a movie and went, "Oh, the movie sucks compared to the book."
Movie. Yeah,
right.
Totally.
Yeah,
and it's hard to take like a book or a comic book series, or a book series, and put it into one movie. Like it's just I don't know. It's just kind of it's hard to do. Like I mean, even if you do it like as like a TV show, it's still like hard, like trying to capture every little nuance.
Yeah. I think the
like
thing you said. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rex.
I'm sorry. I think the thing is they don't remain true to the original material often.
But a lot of times there are successes, like you pointed out, Sin City, the movie.
Oh yeah.
It didn't have to hit every single note, it definitely sang the same song.
Yeah.
Watchmen, same thing. People hate on that movie. Fuck that. I love that movie, man. The thing's great.
Yeah, movie's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
300 was good too, I thought.
Yeah. 300 is another one. And you know, some movies get it and some don't. It's just that simple.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. Like I don't know, like it's I guess it's just hard for them to kind of nail it down. But I mean, I think also too, it's easier if there's like seminal work to take from, you know, like Watchmen, 300. It's just like one story, you know. And if you're taking like Batman, for instance, you know, like I like there was some things I liked about the new Batman movie, like his monologue. I'm like, dude, I want some internal monologue because we never had that for Batman. I want the detective noir thing, and we got it for the new one. But it's just like, you know, it's just like, well, the movie's kind of long. Like, you know, then it's like you get one thing right, but then they fuck up a bunch of other stuff. You know what I mean?
I think it's a controversial take, Matt, but I'll say it. I liked the new Batman movie. I did not like emo Batman or Bruce Wayne, but I liked everything else about it.
I liked it. I mean, I liked emo Bruce. Like for me, like I'm really like really a basic bitch on a lot of things. For me, I just thought the movie was just too long. Like it needed some trimming.
Yeah. Oh,
sorry. There's just basic things that I want. You know, I like the internal monologue. I want to see the Batcave. I want to see, you know, him. I want to see Batman fighting. You know, once they open that door with the warehouse scene with Batfleck, you know, it's kind of hard. You got to kind of have that, you know. So, but I did like that. They had 3 gangs in there. They had the street gang in the beginning that was kind of like mime-ish sort of Joker-esque gang. Then you had the Penguin gang in the club, and then you had the kind of like the incel like Riddler gang at the end of the movie or whatever you want to call it, you know.
Right.
But I thought that was cool. It was like kind of like the game a little bit, and I just think they kind of needed to kind of trim it up a little bit.
Yeah, but a good editor could have made that into a great flick.
Oh yeah, totally, man. And it just felt very street. I like that. I actually liked. I didn't mind there not being I like the Batcave. I like the new take on that. The subway. I know we're side questing now, but fuck it. And then I also like I like that he's up in the penthouse of his church. I mean, it's not his church; it's Wayne Tower, but it's like it's you know like a metaphor. He's like a gargoyle overlooking the city, you know, of his church, you know, and it's all gothic, and I like that. I dug that. So, and the emo Batman, I thought that was okay. I mean, it's like you can only do so many things so many times, you know what I mean? But for me, it's like there's just it's not hard to nail Batman down perfectly. Just, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, my ideal Batman in the movies was the '89 Keaton.
Yeah,
for two reasons. One, Keaton's portrayal of Bruce Wayne as kind of he's not present in the moment because he's always Batman in his head. So Bruce Wayne is scatterbrained. You know, he puts the pen down and the glass starts to fall, and he can't remember so and so's name. And this, and he did that so well that there was a commentary in Wizard magazine that said they started writing Bruce Wayne differently based on that. So that's how powerful that performance was. But then the other part of it that makes it stand out is Batman in that movie is an urban legend. He's not. There's no bat phone. You know, he steps out of the fog, he pops you in the face and knocks you out, and he steps back into the fog. Yeah. You know, 4 stories straight down, there weren't no blood.
There ain't no bat. There ain't no bat.
Yeah. But I like that.
For me, like
mysterious, you know.
For me, it was like that. For my thing was like Keaton is such a good fucking actor that he acted his way into and out of that role.
Yeah.
And it made it believable. You know, for me, he's like, he was, you know, always my favorite growing up, you know what I mean? But I think he just like, he's so good that he can make you believe he's Bruce Wayne and Batman. But for me, he doesn't physically look like that. To me, it's more like Ben Affleck, you know?
Yeah.
But he's, you know, even the Flash movie, I thought like that's what made the movie good was the Keaton scenes, you know? Yeah. And they saved all the CGI for him, and he fucking owned that movie. Like, it's cool. I don't know if you saw the Flash movie, but
I did.
I like love the Keaton. I thought it was really cool, like the Keaton stuff, like just seeing him kind of doing that swan song. I like Michael Keaton as an actor. I mean, I can't wait for Beetlejuice 2. They just dropped the title for it. I was like, it's calling it Beetlejuice. Did you see that? I was like, that's brilliant. It's like obvious, but like no one's thought of it.
They got to do a third one now. Say his name 3 times.
Yeah, that's almost like kind of like a foreshadow, But
yeah, it is.
But with the Batman, that's what I liked about it, Little stuff though, like I wish his cape opened up and he kind of flew around the Batmobile. I thought they nailed that down really cool. The chase sequence I thought that was really kind of like Steve McQueen style, what I mean? Really old school like racing. I like that. There's a lot to like about that movie. A lot of people hated on it, but I put that movie, right after probably Dark Knight. I would probably watch that more than even Rises.
It's damn sure better than the Schumachers. That's all we got to say.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely, man. I'm looking forward to the Brave and the Bold. I don't know what they're gonna do with that, and then the new Superman movie. We'll see what's up. Yeah, looks like that. I think that Superman movie might be pretty good.
Now, Matt, I got to ask you this: Are you at this point? Are you at this point, however, a little gun shy when you hear about the next superhero movie coming? Are they gonna fuck it up? Is it gonna be woke? Is it gonna be, Whereas before, and I asked that because of this. When I found out the Iron Man movie was coming out, the very first one, oh, hell yeah. I've been waiting my whole life to see some quality superhero from Marvel,
Yeah.
And then I saw it and it just knocked it out of the ballpark.
It was so good.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking good.
So,
I like the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, too. Those two.
Yeah.
That first fucking wave.
And then when Cap came out, I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Now it's like they're doing what? Oh no, they're gonna fuck it up.
Like I don't trust them. Like I think now, I think they are gonna probably nail down Superman pretty good. But the thing is, it's probably, I don't know, it might be a little too late,
Yeah.
But I think that they know that, I guess allegedly like their ESGs are running out. There's a lot of money that's being lost in the movie industry and also the comic industry. So they're all kind of shutting their mouths and kind of trying to get back to work. I know that Ultimate Spider-Man is selling better now. It's just basic, Peter Parker and Mary Jane, which people want.
Right.
Again, a lot of people are just like me, real basic fucking normie bitch shit.
Right. And there was,
I want my Peter Parker. I want my normie, Mary Jane. I want them to be in a relationship. I like Peter Parker older too. I want him to be like, in his mid 30s. That's what I liked about the Venom in the, I grew up reading that. That's when I read Spider-Man was when he was doing, the Venom stuff and the Carnage stuff, and he was older, and I thought that was cool. I thought that was badass,
And I'll tell you what else was encouraging was they fired the new Daredevil TV show writers and got the Netflix crew and said, all right, guys.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Like, good, because the Netflix Daredevil was badass.
Oh, it was so good. That was the best, like one of the best TV shows. And like Vincent D'Onofrio, best Marvel villain ever, arguably best comic book villain ever. I just kind of lost all faith in Marvel after after Endgame. I think that's what it was. I've seen it, but it just
after Endgame,
I watched Thor and Blunder and just fucking stupid, man. Like it's just pandering. It's just pandering, and then just trying to get money for the ESG bullshit, probably.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I think. Well, I mean, I was watching your boy Zach video. I still watch Richard Myers stuff. He's entertaining, and he was saying like he was doing a video today how like he was talking about Superman Legacy. He's like, dude, Batman or Superman, Metallo, Lois Lane, like all the characters are all casted exactly like the ones in the comic. I mean, I think people are they're just gonna do it. But I don't know. James Gunn, he's kind of he's an oddball.
Yeah. I will reserve judgment.
I think that he's probably just like, oh fuck, he's probably in that oh shit mode. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like everybody else. Oh shit, we got to get it right. This is our last chance.
Yeah, it's all on you. It's all on you, baby. You got to make it happen.
And that's what it was with Man of Steel in a way too. And I like Man of Steel. A lot of people hate that, but again, for me, like I grew up, I'm a '90s kid, so I like still to this day, Death of Superman's my favorite Superman story. I like Doomsday. I like the rise of the four Supermen. I liked the Return of Superman, and it's still my favorite story. So, and I like my dark, brooding Superman. I thought that was cool too. I was really into the Richard Donner movies, but we do need some hope. I mean, that would be kind of cool. I didn't like how Kevin Costner just was like just killed himself. I thought that was stupid as fuck.
Yeah.
There's a lot of little things like that, but I mean, the fights in that movie, oh my God. And I didn't mind him killing Zod like at a young age. That didn't bother me. This kind of goes back into what we were talking about earlier. You got like a movie that you have to jam all this stuff from a novel or a comic book, era into a movie, dude, or even 3 movies. That's a lot of stuff. So you don't have time to fuck around, and you got to tell a story, and the director's got to kind of stick to his vision a little bit, his or her vision. And if they don't, then that could kind of fuck things up too. So there's like a lot of things that have to come into play when you're weighing, like, I don't know, but the fights. Sure. I don't know. I like Man of Steel a lot, dude. That's one of my favorite comic movies. Batman Begins is my favorite Batman movie. I don't know. I could talk comics stuff.
I know, right? I know. And the odd thing, Matt, is I've been on a handful of shows and people ask, well, what do you collect now? Nothing. I don't collect comics. I will back and support my fellow indie creators when they've got something cool and I've got the money to do it.
Oh, yeah.
But as far as Marvel and DC, I'm not collecting comics.
No, man. Actually, there was a book that came out called Blooddrick. It's like a barbarian book. It's a 3-parter from Image, and it's like Conan style. And I was gonna go buy it, but it was sold out at 2 the stores I went to. I would buy Conan now from Titan, but I missed like the first 5 issues. I'd be down to pump down $4 a month for some dope ass Conan. Yeah, I'll do that. And the artist looks like Buscema. So like his little brother's drawn it or some shit, So and it's black and white, I think.
When the pendulum
that's
swings all the way back the other way, and we leave behind all this DEI bullshit, and we just get back to doing good stories, I may return to comics. In the meantime, thank God for Comicsgate, Iron Age, independent comics. Thank God for that stuff.
That's what I'm doing. Like today I just backed this book called Judex. I don't know if you heard of Judex by Global Frequencies.
Yeah.
And I've been waiting to get that book, and he's like, "Oh, I'm closing up the campaign." I'm like, "Oh fuck, I better get in there and get it." And there's a crossover he did with Von Klaus's Black Terror. So and Von's fucking killed it on Black Terror. I love it when people like take the old school characters and from the pulp era or whatnot, and they do their own spin on them, and they kind of make them a little better. You know what I mean? In some ways, or make them relevant in a good way. So like for me, I'd love to do Phantom someday. Like my grandpa got me in the Phantom. My grandpa was a Detroit cop. He kind of reminds. That's kind of what I think of him too when I think of this stuff. And he was also a bank robber too. So I also think of that. So he was a dirty cop. So it's kind of weird. So, but he was also into the Phantom and
now,
Shadow,
which Phantom?
And I'm just like,
which Phantom? Like the
Lee
Jungle
Fox Phantom.
The Jungle Phantom.
Yeah,
that
one. Yeah, he was into that one a lot. So
I followed that strip because it was a comic strip in the Sunday papers for years in the 70s. You couldn't wait for that next little strip to come out next Sunday. It's good stuff.
Yeah, that the Shadow man is fucking dude. Oh my God. Like a lot of people do that. Like Aldous does his Shadow videos. Those are awesome too. To listen to those.
Yes.
Razor Fist has one too. The Shadow Cast. He actually reads ones too. I love listening to both those cats.
Yeah.
And the Shadow and the Phantom though, dude. I'm just like a stan on both those. Whenever I can get it, I'll listen to it. Even the fucking movies. I like the one with Alec Baldwin and Billy Zane. During the 90s, they had this resurgence of 90s pulp type movies. And my grandpa, I mean, he was around back then. My dad, my uncle, they all loved them.
Think about
when they came out.
What a opportunity when you had kind of that pulp adventure stuff that Indiana Jones brought back to the table, and you had the early superhero movies. Right in that convergence zone was the Phantom, and it could have been even bigger. It could have been something just I
know, man. They kind of like filtered like this, like went away. There's still something there too. Even Doc Savage, the real Man of Steel. There's just a lot, like people always talk about remakes, like I think those things should always probably be remade, and they say that the reason, one good thing about there being a remake is to make those characters come back, because they will die, they will be gone, and people will not know about them. Right. And they need to go, and they do need to see the originals first, but if you don't remake it, they will just they will not know about it. You know,
see the originals.
Kind of makes sense.
Yeah, see the originals, and then embrace the new stuff that comes along, like Indiana Jones. Once Upon a Time was the new pulp Sunday movie. You know, pulp stories. You know, when you see somebody doing something like that in one of those genres, jump on board, man. Go check it out. Like a good noir story. You know, imagine like the Maltese Falcon, but Sam Spade is a wizard.
Come and sign up for a damn dirty thing. I know I'm going to back it when it comes out, and I'm going to pick up the Pariah books. Thanks again, Doc, for coming on.
Oh man, thank you for having me.
We've been going for about an hour now.
Yeah. I appreciate you having me.
Thanks. Oh, for sure, man. Thanks for coming on, Rex. We're gonna be doing this again next week. We're gonna be talking about Devil Flyer.
Awesome.
Thanks again for coming on. And sorry, what was that?
I was gonna say when you have Rex on next week, can I come on and sit and antagonize Rex?
Sure, absolutely.
Right, great.
I don't think I was that bad. But
you weren't Rex. You weren't Rex.
I was just drawing Doc.
Rex and I fight like old brothers.
Siblings.
Yeah, I did this for us.
Ooh, I gotta see that.
The bog monster.
Ooh, I like that, man. I like those inks. That's awesome. I love the detail.
Yeah.
I like the mustache and the beard. It's fucking awesome.
The Spanish moss.
Yeah, right.
If you've ever been down in the Low Country. I grew up in the Low Country of South Carolina, and the old oak trees have that heavy Spanish moss hanging in them.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Ever go out there in the moonlight, it's serene and spooky, and just the stories come to mind, baby. It's quite the environment.
You ever dance with the devil by the pale moonlight?
You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? Just something I like to say to all of my prey.
I like that when Keaton delivers a line to him and then hits him.
Yeah.
You want to talk crazy? Come on.
Yeah,
it's getting nuts. But Doc, where can people find you, Doc?
I have a YouTube channel. I'm the only Doc Blalock on YouTube. Look me up. I do a show every Wednesday with my partner Tanner Hurley called Doc's Coffee Shop. And I just stream randomly throughout the week whenever I get a burr up my butt. You can find my work over on darkgiftcomics.com. And other than that, you can just find me lurking in the halls of the indie comic movement.
Oh yeah. And Rex, where can people find you at, brother?
Devil Flyer Momentum on YouTube, or something like that. Under Devil Flyer will be launching February 3rd. Twitter, Instagram, I'm around. Do a daily show, as you know, and we just try and knock it out of the park and get ready for the campaign. So,
right on.
I look forward to seeing you next week, Matt.
Oh yeah, for sure. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for everybody that's stopped by. Really appreciate it.
Having me.
For sure, man. Thank you guys for coming on, and we'll be seeing you guys next week. And Saturday night we should be doing Metal Movies and Brewskis live. And
nice.
Thanks again for watching. Always remember to be bold, be brave, and roll the bones to know your role. I'll see you guys later.